aliens and degenerate crypto enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. Welcome to this fine Tuesday. Or is it, what is it? Is it Tuesday? Yeah, okay. For a second, I thought it was Wednesday. I was like, hold on, is it Wednesday or is it Tuesday? These weeks are moving fast, guys. So once it starts getting towards the end of the year, you start almost losing track of the days. We're about to be in 2025 in less than a month, guys. Isn't that crazy? It's absolutely insane. So what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are feeling good. I see some people, they said they're getting chopped up a little bit with the trades. I know it's interesting. You know, we got really bullish on these altcoins, but the moment we see any kind of Bitcoin retracement, some of these altcoins can react very fast. And, you know, we got kind of chopped up a little bit too. You know, we have our trades open. We have altcoin trades open. You know, it's still risky. Doesn't mean it's going to be up only. You know, we're going to probably see some fluctuation, some volatility, but the nature, that's just the nature of the market right now. But ultimately, you still just want to be in these cryptocurrency markets because this is where all the action is. This is where the most gains are being made in any type of investment. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Crypto is the highest performing asset class in the entire world right now. And so what we are seeing now is a big insurgence of institutional adoption. And then once we actually get full institutional adoption, which we are seeing through the modality of the ETFs, we're seeing more companies be bullish on Bitcoin and possibly adding it to their treasury or their reserves. You know, Michael Saylor is in talks with, you know, maybe Bill Gates and Microsoft and having Bitcoin on their balance sheet as well, and saying that it could make Microsoft go up $100 trillion in value, like $1 trillion in value. So just imagine you start to see Microsoft start to pump because they added Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So these are the times that we're in, guys. Smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell to be notified. And we're going to give you guys these live streams every single day. The only time we don't stream is on Saturdays and Sundays, but we still release content on those days. We try and give you guys daily content. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed, you're dinging the bell, so then when we release this content, you can be notified immediately. And if you want to get really fast updates, just make sure you're following me at DanoCrypto904. It's where we're trying to, you know, repost the things that we think are funny. This is actually a meme by my wife. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't know what Stanley's was, but a Stanley's is like a really expensive water. It's really expensive, you know, flask or whatever that you can put your water in. And I guess a lot of yoga people use it. But she said, when you bought Bitcoin, not Stanley's, she's putting her water in a damn Raoul's Italian wedding soup mason jar. So super bullish, super bullish. So shout out to my wife for actually sending me and making me crypto memes. So I have fully orange pilled my wife into crypto, and now she is sending me the memes. I love it. It's great. It's great. I don't know. This is the timeline we're in right now, guys. This is the timeline we're in. Your wives are bullish. Your husbands are bullish. Your kids are probably bullish. If you've been showing them the Bitcoin chart, they're probably bullish as well. And, you know, something to keep in mind for today, since I said, you know, look, if you're following me at DanoCrypto904, we're going to try and repost anything that we think is significant that you might want to keep on track of. And one of them is that Pepe. This Pepe cryptocurrency Reddit has 16,000 or 17,000 people following this particular thread on Reddit. And so they are today are going to be raiding Pepe and getting everyone in this group to buy at least $50 to $100 of Pepe today. And that's going to happen at 3 p.m. I think it's going to happen at 3 p.m. Let's see. Where's our post? It was Plasma. So yeah, community event. Spread the word. December 3rd. It's going to be happening at 12. Oh, okay, so it's actually going to be happening in about 20 minutes. So this should be interesting. So we are indeed in the Pepe trade. We hold Pepe, and we'll show you guys the trade. You know, it's not looking too good right now. I'd say it's down. It's down in the tubes, as well as our other altcoin trades. But I will tell you guys, this is what's so interesting. I was telling you one of the altcoins that you probably want to keep your eye on as one of the next coins to run is FTM, is Phantom. So Phantom, FTM, has been the strongest performer out of all my trades recently against Pepe, Doge, Floki. I put in a FET trade. That one got liquidated. That one got swooped really hard when Bitcoin wicked down. We had Bitcoin do this nice consolidation. You know, if you look on the daily, you can see right here, it wicked all the way down to, let's see, right here, 90, God, what was it? Yeah, 93,000. I guess that was about the, let's go on the 4 hour. Yeah, so it was a nice little wick down. Nice little wick down to 93,700. So that hit the altcoins pretty hard. Solana, I think too. Yeah, someone was mentioning Solana didn't do so hot. I think Solana was down on the daily, on the 24-hour, down a couple, down $223. Let's see. Let's actually pull up Solana on the trading view chart, and then we're gonna get to these other altcoins that are absolutely exploding, like XYO. But let's look at Sol real quick. Yeah, Sol was one of the ones that I think had the most damage done in terms of losses. Was just kind of bleeding a little bit here on the daily. 4%, and then it went down. It wicked down to this previous level right here, to 216. So it really wicked down pretty hard and kind of created what you can see here as a head and shoulders pattern. You can see the head and the shoulder breaking down right back into this level, bouncing off of the support. So it completed the head and shoulders pattern. So can it bounce from that and then start to go into bullish momentum? Because, people are still going to be bullish on Sol. It's not like just because it made a dip. It's just been running a lot. It's basically, if you see here, kind of right when it topped out at 184, it went down and crashed 14%. So from the top, it's probably like a 14%. Yeah, it's actually more. It's actually 17%. So that's a nice healthy crash for Sol. Nothing crazy. I think it's just it's going to bring us up to our level of $320 per Sol. That's what we're eyeing for Solana as our next target. Is that the low key support of Solana? Was at that 216 level where it just wicked down. We actually had this mark, so it's really interesting that it hit right at that level. So now could be a really great time. I mentioned in the description of the video and in this title that it is altcoin season. It will be full altcoin season next year. That's when we're going to see the most gains in these altcoins. Like, even though we are seeing things like XYO going up 188%. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this God candle. Smacked right into this level that we had marked at 4 cents. Insane. And it still has more room to grow. Absolutely crushing it. So congratulations to all of the XYO holders who had been holding and just get, oh my God, look at this. I mean, any of the altcoins that you guys have been holding for a long time, and then you finally see it break out. It just doesn't even matter what it is. It could be H-bar, it could be Phantom, it could be, Cardano, whatever it may be. If you had been holding for a long time and you're seeing this, I am happy for you, because that's like the hardest thing to do. No one ever said it was going to be easy to hold these damn things. for for 2 years or longer, and then finally see them go up. But the thing is that really you have to have a 5 to 10 year outlook. We had a whole conversation about it. I think it was last night. It was on last night's live stream where we really started to break down that you need to not think in like 3, 6 months, a year. That's how small people are thinking in terms of this crypto market. If you can keep yourself in these markets and think that out 5 to 10 years, you are going to have probably so much more money, so much more stake in the game, in this crypto game, and end up creating your own company, creating your own crypto-backed service, whatever it may be. I mean, it will get to that point to where it wouldn't make any sense for you not to be in the market. So you have to start thinking about 5, 10 years. This market is going to get crazily huge. It is only at a $3 trillion market cap currently. If you look at the daily chart here, we've been breaking out of this cup and handle pattern. This cup and handle pattern, if we show it full screen, it's really easy to see. And then you can see here that the target is at $7 trillion. Now, we think Bitcoin alone will be at a $7 trillion value. And with the altcoins doing what they're doing, so we'll show you the altcoin chart, the total 3. You look at the total 3, it's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing, and it's trading right up this channel, inverse head and shoulders, breakout happening, and this is our target is at a 2.3 trillion. Now, this is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is everything else besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this thing is breaking out. So now imagine it breaking out to 2.3, and then you have everything else. Oh my gosh. We're going to go so much higher, guys. We're going to go so much higher. So you have to think about what it's going to be worth in 10 years. It will be well over $100 trillion because the total market caps of the top assets in the world of in terms of market cap, you go by gold or silver or, some of these top companies like Nvidia and Tesla, they're at trillions, just one company. And so this is why companies like MicroStrategy, with Michael Saylor implementing the Bitcoin strategy in 2020, it was August 2020, they implemented that strategy. And since then, they've been able to generate billions of dollars in revenue by implementing this Bitcoin strategy. So it's fascinating, what can actually happen over even just a span of 4 years going into a crypto, type holding strategy. And so the market cap of this space is so new. I mean, it's really 7 trillion is so bearish to think oh yeah, it's going to hit 7 trillion and then it's just going to, go down a little bit. I don't believe so. I think 7 trillion is worst case, worst bearish case scenario. And really we're going to be at 100 trillion because it's just going to be the back end layer settlements for everything. Data, privacy, storage, depend stuff, data tracking from off-chain things to get it on-chain. Real world RWA, real world assets that are tokenized versions of companies. There's one, Insane Labs. That one's one they always pop up in the chat, and they're a supplement company, and so that's an example. You could do, but there's so many different examples. So many different examples. You got to think about all of these different companies coming in and tokenizing their things almost like reward points, or, you have a company that if you buy a certain product, then you then you can get rewarded in maybe said token, and then you can use the token to then buy stuff on their website. You could just go across the board. This is what's going to be happening on a mega large scale. And so what's going to be those things that you could buy that you could make a lot of money on? And one of those things being what I said about data, that's what XYO does. So XYO is fully all integrated with decentralized data, and they had this big partnership announcement with Tesla with their Cybertruck. So if you're wondering, what the heck? Why is XYO pumping so freaking hard? Well, it's probably because of that. But then also, there's been talks months and months and months ago that they're going to be listed on Binance as well. So that is huge. I think that's going to send this market cap up to it's probably going to go up to $1 billion, which would send it to about the 20 cent level. So this would be the real true value of what XYO has been, I think, very undervalued. So even from these prices right here at 4 cents is still a good entry if you're willing to hold like people were willing to hold through here. But if you think, okay, 2 years, I think our bear markets are going to be a lot shorter this time going into crypto because this market is growing. So I think the more that is actually going in is going to shorten the bear markets, and these things are just going to possibly go into the super cycle that we've been talking about and that a lot of people have been talking about. You hear this thing, the super cycle. Well, that's what it is. It's meaning that we get a super run that lasts a lot longer. It doesn't mean it just goes up forever, but we do have consolidations, but at a point, it just keeps going because money that is in the money supply of fiat cash from all around the world, all different types of currencies are going into crypto. And now the U.S. is wanting to be one of the primarily dominant crypto-oriented countries to keep the Bitcoin here under the Trump administration. And so that's going to bring adoption. It's going to, all the American-based crypto companies are apparently going to be not heavily taxed, even actually zero tax to be able to operate in the United States. So that's super bullish. That's why, if you're wondering why XRP is pumping, that is a big reason why I think XRP is pumping. And there is a big speculation on them being the next ETF option because we had Ethereum. So it's been Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then it's possible that we'll get XRP as the next ETF option. And also that XRP could be the choice of what is going to replace the SWIFT banking system, payment railing and transaction system that has been used by the banks. It's called SWIFT. We're not knowledgeable on how it works, how long they've been using it. But from what we've gathered, it sucks. It doesn't really work that well. And there could be obviously way better options for payment for cross-border payments, transactions that need to happen instantly. We obviously know what those are. There's plenty of different blockchains that could be used for this, and that are pretty much decentralized, safe to use, easy to use. And so maybe XRP ends up being that. And then that's what the XRP army has always had in the roadmap of holding XRP is like, hey, if this thing ends up being the trying to replace the banking transaction systems, then yeah, $51 XRP is not off the charts. It's not off the table. And so, but you have to be willing to. You got to be willing to hold. That's how you're going to make the most money. It's not through really trading. It's not really through trading. It's actually through the holding. You got to think like, how did Da Vinci and Carl and, Crypto and, the whales, like the people that have got some serious dough. I mean, they were willing to hold through some of these cycles, and I'm sure it hurt. They probably lost some money too, but they were willing to stick with these cycles. And actually, all three of those guys that I mentioned, they were pretty heavy Bitcoin. They probably bought Ethereum as well. And what actually got them the most money is Bitcoin. If I were to ask them, like, what has actually made you the most money? If I asked Da Vinci, Crypto Chris, and Carl Runefelt, they would all say Bitcoin. They would all say it was probably mostly from Bitcoin and actually holding it, buying it, DCAing, and then everything else kind of comes along with the nature of just being in the markets. But funny enough that, Chris mentioned because Carl doesn't even like XRP. He was just like, I just see it's down. It's in a good trade. Sadly, we had an XRP trade too, and we freaking closed it way too early, guys. I mean, we got into an XRP trade at $1.18 right here, and we missed just a wicked run. It's pretty depressing, but it is what it is. You can't let it bother you because there's always a chart that can be traded. It's not like if you missed it right there, you're not going to have another chart. Like, is the chart going to disappear? There's always an opportunity, and that's how you have to frame your mind. If you make a loss, if you get liquidated, you're going to give up right there? Okay, throw in the towel. All right, yep. But that's not how it works. You have to have the long game. It's the long game. Don't let the short, because I guarantee you, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably got smacked a little bit with this dip. And if you didn't have a stop loss set or you didn't have any kind of risk management, you were just kind of degenning into some of these altcoin trades. And when Bitcoin went down, I bet it either got scarily close to getting liquidated or you did get liquidated. But the way you can circumvent that, I will say, is as a recommendation, is what I've been doing is that I know these altcoins are probably going to get scarily close to getting to danger zone, like absolute danger zone. But what I've done to hedge against that is to not have it be at a freaking 10x, 15, 20x, whatever leverage, because that will, with no stop loss, get you supremely wrecked and fast, like mega fast, because that's just the nature of the market. It loves to do that. And so, especially when Bitcoin goes down a nice 2%, it goes down 1%, it's going to send an altcoin down like 10%. So you have to think about it in a ratio of 1 to 10. You're literally going to, with 1% of Bitcoin going down, 10 just bet on your altcoins going down 10% or more. Some of them might go down 15%. So then you have to consider that when you have altcoin trades open. But what can help with that, set a stop loss. Also, you can have just 5x, 4x is all you really need when you're in a bull run and you have a little bit more margin and you can kind of see where we're bouncing off of maybe a little bit of support. Like you can see right now, Pepe has been forming this bull flag. So sometimes these bull flags can get a little overextended. So we're seeing the overextension now. And, we're waiting, okay, are we going to get a full breakdown to the bottom here and then bounce off of maybe this support level, which could be hit. And then that's what actually sends us to the upside. So what you could do is say, okay, all right, I'll set a limit order right here. Let the market come to me, and then you can get a nice ride to the top here, which the target, if you're looking at Pepe, would be something like this. Be something like that. So be looking at a nice 51% move to the upside. And we'll see what happens with this event, because at 12 right now, apparently Pepe is supposed to be pumping with what the news that we said. But what we need pumping right now is the likes. We need you guys to absolutely destroy the likes. If all 23 of you right now just destroy, absolutely explode the like button, smash it, Gallagher style, we can get more people in here, and the algorithm will reward us. It will reward all of us because we'll get more friends in that chat. But thank you guys. Shout out to all the people that are here. Trevor Lewis, Free, we got Chris Jix, we got Clean Living. Shout out to Clean Living. And shout out to Crypto Naughty, Marcin, Jordan. Shout out to all you guys. Back said I should have bought XYO yesterday. I know every time we see a coin pumping, we're like, I should have bought that. But it's okay. It's okay, because that's the classic thing is like you have to just know that, okay, these things that you might be holding are going to, they're going to test you. They're going to test you. I bet the XRP army has been the one that has been tested the hardest. You know, all the jokes about it being a stable coin, all the blah, 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 like, you know, the lawsuits, you know, this, I mean, man, think about the people that hold XRP. And now finally, it took so long. It was like the running joke is like, so think about that. You have to think about that and just have a little bit more patience. Yeah, if you're holding Luna Classic, just hold it. It might go up. It's a meme coin at this point. So terrible. Your USD, your USTD, your Terra Luna stable coin, that might go up as well. Oh my gosh. All right, but yeah, guys, smash up the like. We almost got it up to 20 likes. Now we got 27 people in here. So yeah, that's how it works. See, you hit the like button, more people come in, and that's what YouTube does. It's the currency. If YouTube had something like a meme coin, it would be called like button or subscribe. Okay, so guys, I don't know if you noticed something, but if you've been following this channel, obviously, we support BitFlex, you know, a couple different exchanges that we like. We got in the description below, if you want to sign up with the exchanges that we like to use, that's all down there. So it's Coinbase, you know, we like Coinbase, we like crypto.com, and we like CoinFlare. So now BitFlex has completely rebranded to a new name, new logo, a little sharper, little cleaner design on the user interface. There's still some things that they need to add. I've been talking to them directly, and I told them, you gotta add the option to do partial take profits and stop losses and take profits in partial, and also be able to do a reverse. So if you want to close it and then go the inverse direction, if you feel like, hey, I'm going to be a super trader and just short that thing right when it hits resistance, you can be a super trader and have that happen all automated by doing this. But you can't do it on this one. So I'm telling them they got to add that. And then also whenever you put in a position, I want it to be able to, you can see it, and it's on the actual screen, and then you can actually, I love how PHEMEX actually has this option where whenever you hold the crosshair on a certain price and you have a trade open, it'll show you how much you'll make percentage-wise if you say go here. And so those little tiny little details is how, you know, a platform can really, you know, hold someone's attention. So I'm telling them to do this. I think they will do it, and we're going to see it happen, play out in real time. So if you've been watching this channel, you've been watching this thing, you know, watching, the evolution of BitFlex or any of these exchanges for that matter, they all have all their different kind of feel to them. They have different rewards. So make sure you guys are signed up with all of our links in the description. But yeah, we're super stoked on this because yeah, it's a nice look, and we'll see how the evolution of this exchange goes. But yeah, we're super stoked. We're stoked on it. We like it. All right, so sorry, I was trying to read the chat here. Free says, we're always going to have regrets. I'm holding XYO and XLM. Wish I bought more, but I'm in other projects as well. Can't be too greedy. I know. Yes, exactly. That's like when I was talking to my wife, she was like, why don't we have exposure to XRP? You don't talk about XRP that much. She's like, I've been seeing it everywhere, because she's been like now on like basically crypto Instagram. She hit an algorithm, and now that's all the videos she gets is like crypto memes and crypto videos, and they're all like pumped trying to, talking about XRP. And I was like, and she was like, you just talk about Pepe. And I started laughing, and I was like, babe, because I was like, you don't understand market. I was like, look, the potential of more of a run with Pepe is probably more in the cards for Pepe to end up being at like the top 4 cryptocurrency in the world than XRP. But that I might be an insane person. I might have a mental illness. I might, but But no, I like Ethereum. Like, honestly, I still like ETH. Instead of buying XRP, yeah, I could have probably had a pretty decently sized spot bag if I would have just put that 3,000 whatever of profits into XRP. That actually would have done really well. Would have done pretty well. But I guess I just did the boring thing. I bought ETH and Cardano, and I'll actually show you guys. I'll show you. In the spot wallet. Let's see. Oh, and no, I did not get a chance to get any of that token, but it might be a good chance to get that Shiro token now, because it pumped really hard and now it probably consolidated a bit. So then maybe it's probably at a good entry. But what we did here, I'll show you guys. Like, these were some of the profits that we made trading. It was like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. We did really well. And we wanted to just protect these gains, not go into trades, just take it right out of the account, transfer it out. I highly suggest this, guys. If you're up a lot in your account, trading account, do yourself a favor. Take profits and then DCA. I know I've been so like, why don't they have the me token? I will tell them. I'll say, well, you guys need to add the me token, because it will do some trading volume damage. We buy the me token we just dex buy it. But yeah, it would actually be a good opportunity to do that. Yeah, guys, of course, like I can make these things happen. I can 100% make these things happen for sure. I'm going to be around all those people next week, so I can actually truly make it happen. All right, so what we did is the boring thing. We bought Ethereum and we bought $1,000 worth of, or maybe I think we bought actually like $800 worth of Cardano, but recently it's gone up. Like, so our like $700, $800 DCA is up now over $1,000, and then we bought $3,100 of ETH. So one ETH at an average price of about 3,100 or so. And that got as high as like 37 recently, as we saw it pump up pretty well. And so this is just kind of like our nice like hedge DCA'd portfolio for spot. And I'm telling you guys, I highly suggest you do this as just a hedge against yourself. DCA with some of your profits, and don't like try and like retrade all of that, because you could lose it very quickly that way. It'll feel a lot better that you took maybe half or even a little bit more, and you still have your trades. Like, I still have these trades open. Like, I still have the trades open. Some of them have been closed, but mostly a lot of those profits were made with just kind of like a consistent thing. I don't know what happened. Am I still live? Hold on just a second. Guys, let me know if I'm still live, because I feel like my setup just crashed. Let's see. So I'm not, well, yeah, I don't know. I just like, I got frozen. If you can still hear me, my camera, I guess, froze. It's like the whole screen frozen. Hold on. Let's see if I go back to, let's see, we'll go here. Can you see this? Can you guys see this? Is it, are there green bubbles moving around the screen? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Yeah, give me just a second, guys. Let me see if I can reset. Let me see if I can reset this camera real quick. Hold on. Actually, in the meantime, we had some videos that we wanted to show you guys, so we'll actually play those right. This is Tucker Carlson explaining game theory. So I actually really like this. So let's watch this.
Good morning, good evening, and yo! Welcome to another edition of Tuckernomics. Today, we're talking about game theory. You've probably heard about it, but what does it actually mean? Well, by the end of this video, fellas, you're going to be able to take your Riz game to a whole new level. Let's dive in. Picture a massive chess game, but instead of just 2 players, imagine the entire world is playing, and the pieces. All the wealth in the world combined. That's essentially what's happening right now with Bitcoin. But before we dive into what this means for your bags, let's break down what game theory actually is. Game theory is basically the study of strategic decision-making. It's what happens when my choices affect your outcomes and your choices affect mine. Think of it like this. You're at a party and there's only one slice of pizza left. You and another person both want it. Do you rush for it? Wait politely. Offer to split it. Every decision you make depends on what you think the other person will do. Now, let's apply this to Bitcoin, because we're watching game theory play out on a global scale, and depending on whether you've been stacking sats like crazy or are called Peter Schiff, it's either a very exciting time or an unmitigated clusterfuck.
Keep dreaming, my friend. It's going to goddamn zero.
Countries, companies, and individuals are all caught in this intricate dance of decision-making, and the stakes, well, they're potentially higher than they've ever been in financial history. Consider the nation-states first. El Salvador got the ball rolling when they jumped in and made Bitcoin legal tender. The detractors said they were crazy. But Bukele doesn't mess around. He knew exactly what he was doing. Meanwhile, Bhutan has been quietly stacking like there's no tomorrow. But people were like, whatever, these small-ass countries, what the hell do they know? The arrogance and complacency was deafening. But that could all be about to change, because guess who may be about to turn the game on its head?
That's right, baby.
If President Trump establishes a national Bitcoin reserve, and it's looking increasingly likely that he will, then buckle up, folks. All bets are off. Trump's new cabinet is stacked with Bitcoin advocates, my friends, and the world is, or rather, the money it prints won't be worth the paper it was printed on. Isn't that right, guys? Then we have the corporations. MicroStrategy jumped in with both feet, converted their treasury to Bitcoin, and rallied a bazillion%. Now, every corporate treasurer is sweating, thinking, if Bitcoin succeeds, how do I explain to shareholders why we're holding cash that's losing value? That's game theory in action. The risk of doing nothing might be bigger than the risk of doing something. And Michael, care to share a few words? And the individuals? Oh, we're playing our own game. Every person who buys Bitcoin is essentially betting that more people will want it in the future. Early adopters take the biggest risk, but might get the biggest reward. Late adopters? They're safer, but they might miss the biggest gains. Classic game theory. But here's where it gets really interesting. We're watching what game theorists call a Nash equilibrium evolve in real time. That's a situation where once enough players make a certain choice, it becomes increasingly costly not to follow. Think about not having a cell phone today. Sure, you can do it, but the cost of not participating in that network is huge. What we're witnessing with Bitcoin might be the biggest game theory experiment in human history. It's a game where the rules are written in code, the players are everyone with internet access, and the prize, well, that might just be a completely new financial system. And the most fascinating part? We're all players in this game, whether we want to be or not. The only choice is whether we want to be early movers or late adopters, because in this game, sitting out might be the riskiest move of all. See you next time, and as ever, the ticker
is BTC's Tucker.
What is the tick, 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 you know the ticker.
that always gets stuck in my head. Shout out to Tucker Carlson for getting a little tune so easy, just with like a kick drum and just saying, you know, the ticker. I mean, it's very catchy, but shout out to Tucker Carlson for making some of the best crypto culture content in the business, honestly. So if you guys aren't following Tucker Carlson, it is a meme media company that is based off of Tucker Carlson and has all of your usual suspects and characters in the crypto space in these videos, and they're super bullish to watch. So I suggest you guys check that out. And we have some other content here that we wanted to share. This was a kind of a observation on why MicroStrategy is doing what it's doing and how it's been able to do it, and its correlation with the Bitcoin price. And this is, them talking about drinking the Kool-Aid. Everyone's been drinking, if you start drinking the Kool-Aid.
Move over Elon Musk, because nobody right now is rattling the cages of traditional Wall Street more than Michael Saylor. Now, of course, it's the same crowd of naysayers who lost billions of dollars shorting Tesla. And well, they're at it again. With their friends in the financial media, taunting Bitcoin, Michael Saylor, and of course, all the suckers who are drinking the Kool-Aid. Nobody will call my...
And guys, make sure you're hitting the like button when you come in. That's the first thing you should be doing. Right when you come into this live stream, you have to smash up the like button. That is just, that's the house rules. It's the house rules.
My next guest is a sucker, but I think he's drinking the Kool-Aid too. Want to bring in Bitcoin Opportunity Fund co-managing partner, James Lavish. James, explain the value proposition for those at the back of the room who haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, well, it's good to be here, Charles. Thank you for having me. Drinking the Kool-Aid is a good way to put it. But look, Michael has come up with a brilliant strategy at MicroStrategy, and people are calling it a money glitch for a reason. Why? Because Michael has found a way to issue stock and make it immediately accretive for his shareholders. This is something that Wall Street is not used to. Normally you issue shares, you do a secondary, and it's usually dilutive unless you can do something very quickly to make to create some value for your shareholders. Well, what he does is he's borrowing money and buying Bitcoin with it. So just for instance, if he issues $100 million of stock and he buys $100 million of Bitcoin, the stock goes up $200 to $300 million in market value, and it's immediately accretive.
And so what's interesting is that Michael Saylor's finally kind of figured out, he's like, look, the only way that I can beat the system and actually get ahead is if I use their money and their debt to my advantage and beat them at their own game. Because if they're going to debase the currency and make it harder for companies to operate, well, what do you buy that is going up 175%, 180% almost every year, and then sometimes on the year going up 280, 400% on the year? It's Bitcoin, and then just the cryptocurrency markets as a whole. So this is what he figured out.
Dilutive, and that's because people understand what he's doing. The people who are buying his stock understand what he's doing, and that he's creating this value for them, this underlying value for them. The other thing he's doing is he's issuing convertible debt. And he can do that, Charles, at near zero yield. Or in the last one he did was $3 billion for 0% yield. Well, why can he do that? He can do it because the MSTR stock, his stock is volatile. And it's volatile because of the underlying holding, Bitcoin.
That's really interesting. So I wonder what's going to happen to other companies' stock when they start to implement this same kind of strategy, because they're like, dang, the dollar is going to just keep getting debased. And the value of it, and then also according to what my stock value is, if I don't hold Bitcoin, I'm going to get destroyed. And so that could be a big trend coming up in the next 4, 5, 10 years, is that there's just going to be a lot of companies hedging into Bitcoin as a protection treasury for their survival in the ultimate kind of thing that is really what the Federal Reserve is doing is it's just going to print to zero. Like eventually it's going to be like, $15 to buy a loaf of bread because of how much they're actually putting in the system, unless that can be curved. But how do you do it? They're not going to stop printing money. They're going to keep printing money. That's for sure. I can feel that.
Adding to its Bitcoin hoard, purchasing 15,400 Bitcoin at about $95,000, $96,000 per Bitcoin for a total cost of $1.5 billion. The company's executive chairman tweeted, "We hodl more than 400,000 Bitcoin." Joining us now, Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy executive chairman. Your average, Michael, it's good to have you in studio again. Your average for those 400,000 is 58,000 per Bitcoin, so it's been moving higher as you keep buying at higher prices.
We bought it about 42 times since August of 2020 to today.
From August of, and at this point, the strategy.
Yeah, so if you were to look at the Michael Saylor tracker, let's look at the Saylor tracker. The Saylor tracker is cool. It's a fun way to look and just give you hope of what is actually happening here, why we think that we should look a little further out, look further out, look 10 years out for holding Bitcoin. Because, look at how many times they've bought a substantial, every purchase has been in the billions, and it's been across the board at all of these levels. At the highs, at the lows, all that.
Strategy is to issue stock or convertible debt of MicroStrategy.
Since August of 2022.
All right, guys, hold on just a second. My computer's having a hard time. It's having a really hard time. Okay, here we go.
Since August of 2020 to today.
From August of, and at this point, the strategy is to issue stock or convertible debt of MicroStrategy and use that to buy Bitcoin.
We're a Bitcoin treasury company, so we're securitizing Bitcoin. We're providing high performance equity. We're also providing convertible bonds. We've provided other kinds of bonds in the past, but primarily our job is to bridge the traditional capital markets that want bonds, or they want fixed income, or they want equity, or they want options. And we plug that into the crypto economy, and we use Bitcoin as the vehicle to do that.
What percentage of the public do you think understands Bitcoin at this point? Because I don't know if it helps to go into your strategy, what you just tweeted about. If people don't even understand Bitcoin, and I still see it everywhere, that it's air, or that it's not like gold because you can't make jewelry out of it. Believe it or not, still people saying that because you can't touch it, that it can't be real and it can't represent money. So can we go into how you're arbitraging it to make a return?
Yeah, here's what you need to know.
Okay.
The S&P is about 15 ARR for the past 4 years, and the volatility of the S&P is 15.
Okay.
If you want to own a commodity like silver or soybeans or gold, they have very, very low performance, less than 15%, 5%, 0%. You don't really want to hold soybeans for 100 years. And sometimes they have volatility, but it doesn't last that long. Bitcoin is 60 volatility, 60 ARR, and it is a legal commodity, but it is an economic scarcity. It is the only commodity invented in the history of the human race that's absolutely capped. And so that means you can expect it to keep going up. If I can give you a commodity that outperforms the S&P index, if I can give you a commodity that's more volatile than the S&P index, you can put 100% of your liquid assets in that commodity per SEC rules. I can't do it with a security, by the way. So up until Bitcoin, people had to use gold or real estate as their commodity, or they have to use the US Treasury bill. Those are all underperforming the S&P, and they're less volatile. Bitcoin is the first thing you can use in your treasury that's more volatile, that outperforms the S&P. The result is, if I give you a security, Joe, that outperforms the S&P, how much of it do you want to buy? And if you're an ARB or an options trader, and I give you an option that is 4x the volatility of the S&P, or with MicroStrategy, we're 10x the volatility of the S&P, how much of it do you want to trade? So Bitcoin's unique in the history of the capital markets. It's the first scarcity commodity, outperforming the S&P, more volatile than the S&P, that you can put on your balance sheet.
Volatility at sometimes is not always a good thing. I mean, it's great when something's going higher. But don't think that there'll be a drop or a significant drop that comes along? Have we moved past that because of the regulatory changes that have taken place?
Good question.
I think it'll remain volatile because it's a 24/7, 365 global asset. You can panic sell it on Saturday night. You can enthusiastically buy it on Sunday morning. That's a feature. That's not a bug.
Yeah, you've lived through some of the swings, but do you think we won't see the downturns like we've seen in the past just because of the changes we've seen?
I think it's going to surge through the roof, and then it's going to surge to 180 and crash to 140, and people will be freaking out about it again. But let me make this
oh,
one
that's so
analogy.
funny that he said that.
Volatility is like.
Did you hear what he said? We've been saying that almost the same thing. I gotta go back and what did he do? How he just said that.
The roof, and then it's going to enthusiastically buy it on Sunday morning. That's a feature. That's not a bug.
Yeah, you've lived through some of the swings, but do you think we won't see the downturns like we've seen in the past just because of the changes we've seen?
I think it's going to surge through the roof, and then it's going to surge to 180 and crash to 140, and people will be freaking out about it.
Michael Saylor, yes, brother. My brother in Bitcoin. We've been saying that same thing. Like it's gonna rip here. Almost any day now, we could see Bitcoin actually really start to move. It could really start to move in the month of December. If we go into historical data and go into what Bitcoin has done in terms of the Bitcoin monthly returns, you go to the Q4 of previous halving years and halving cycle, recovery years, 2016 and 2017 being the big ones in Q4 where we had the most movements, 2017 being 215%, 2020 being 168%, and then Q4 here is not over yet. And then once we see how much Bitcoin is going to move in December, I really think that we're going to see 150K by the end of the year. Then that is going to put the Q4 percentage at close to what it was in 2020. And so then you go into the monthly returns and you go into 2017 in December, you go to 2020, 46, 38, 46. And I think based on what we had here in September, October, and November, that December is going to be at like 40%, 45 to 50% in December. And so, so I think that's how we're going to get that there. I think we're going to go to 150 and then crash to 100K. People are going to freak out. Kind of like how you just said, he said, people are going to freak out. They'll panic sell. And then it's going to go to like $350 or $350,000, 350,000, not 350.
It again. But let me make this one analogy. Volatility is like fire, and some people run away from the fire, but Henry Ford put the fire into a carriage via an engine, created an entire industry, and he gave humanity wings.
Can we talk about, so I've been leading up to for me and for everybody to understand your tweet just from, I think, in the last hour. So what did you do last week with the Treasury operations? You were able to generate a Bitcoin yield of 2.55% or over almost 10,000 Bitcoin to shareholders using an arbitrage. Can you explain? Will I be able to understand this if you explain this?
We sold $1.5 billion worth of stock, backed by $500 million worth of Bitcoin. We bought back $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. We captured nearly $1 billion gain in the arbitrage. That we can do with equity day by day. When we do it with debt, we issue $3 billion of debt that's backed by $600 million of Bitcoin that comes due in 5 years. We pay 0% interest. We buy $3 billion of Bitcoin. We capture the $2.4 billion in the arbitrage gain up front. But then over the course of the 5 years, we double or we quadruple the investment because we're buying an asset which is appreciating faster than the S&P.
What you told me was that it's 55% premium over conversion, but a zero coupon. Is that the
That
same?
was a zero coupon 55. And you can do that because Bitcoin is high vol, and the companies that have Bitcoin on their balance sheet have even higher volatility. So Mara is a great example. 2 weeks ago, they did $1 billion convert, zero coupon, to buy Bitcoin. This week, they're back in the market doing another $1 billion convert, zero coupon, to buy Bitcoin. You can rinse and repeat that frequently.
And I wonder, that's wild. That's wild. And so I wonder if Coinbase might start, I think they're probably already doing it. I bet Coinbase is doing this. I mean, they're a crypto company. They're the only crypto company that is publicly traded on the stock exchange. Coin here, it's sitting at $307 per coin per stock, and it's actually sitting on a pretty decent chart here on the weekly. It's breaking up close to its all-time highs. I think all-time highs $377 per share. I think, or actually $419. And I wonder what this is going to do to, ultimately the Coinbase stock, especially now that we got some better regulatory clarity overall in the United States and going into the next 4 years of this administration. The coin stock could be pumping. And actually, if you look at this, it kind of looks like we've been seeing these patterns everywhere. It's like a little cup here, a little handle, breakout. You can kind of see here, we could get an $800, $900 coin stock valuation. And then let's see also, over time where MicroStrategy is going to end up, probably back up into its all-time highs, which was reaching out $1,000, almost $2,000 per MicroStrategy stock. So it's just kind of gaining back up there. Pretty crazy. And so we'll see what happens with that. All right. I don't know, guys. Is there anything else you guys want to know? We're about to towards the end of the stream. We've been streaming since 11:30. Let's see if Pepe actually is going to get that jump that this Reddit community apparently is going to push the price. Let's see if it actually happens. Let's see if Pepe will break out of. I mean, it did break out of the bull flag, but it's not hit its target at all. I mean, it's stumped out right here at 2355, but we're waiting for a 3823. That's the actual target for the run, and we'll just have to wait and see. But we're on the long game for Pepe, also for the long game with Doge. Also a little bit in the long game with Floki, because Floki has been one of those coins that has been just really doing well. You can see when it forms these bull flags, it just starts to freaking run. And so is it going to form this next little shelf here? You see I had one shelf here, bull flag shelf, bull flag shelf. Are we going to get another bull flag shelf going up into this little stepping stone staircase to Valhalla that Floki might be destined to go to? We'll see. We'll have to see. But either way, we're watching the coins. We're watching some of these. I think these things are going to be some of the best performers. We have the trades open on these. We do have the Floki trade. It's a little scary close, but I think once we see the momentum on these altcoins, we get the ETH run. We're really actually now waiting for. Let's see if it actually came in. Did it come in? Let's see if our transaction came in. I don't know if it. Let's see. Because we wanted to put in a live trade. We wanted to put in a live trade on Ethereum. We think Ethereum is ready to go. We think it's ready to go. And so we wanted to put in the trade live. But we're going to check on our. Yeah, I guess nope. Transaction to come in. All right, yeah, because we're waiting on transaction. Once that comes in, we're going to put in the trade, and then we actually might make a video on it. We're going to make a classic Ethereum video. Just a good old-fashioned ETH video. and why we're going to get into this particular trade. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for coming in and supporting the channel and giving me your thoughts, your observations, and all of that good jazz. Let's see. Yeah, hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you guys are checking out all the links in the description. And we will see you guys later tonight. I think we'll be streaming a little later tonight, but we will indeed be streaming. It won't be at 8 o'clock, but it'll be maybe at like 9:45 or like 10 o'clock or something like that. So we're going to do a quick little stream from like 10 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we hope you guys have a good rest of your day, whatever time you're watching from, because I know you guys are watching from all over the world, and you might be watching at night, morning time, evening time. So wherever you're watching from, I just hope you have a good rest of the day, and we will see you later on the next live stream. All right. Peace out. We're going to fade it out with some music.